Hi! I've quite literally had to drag myself away from watching Making a Murderer on Netflix. But today I'm going to show you which books I got in December. Book number one, we're gonna go straight into space things. This book is called Orbiting Jupiter by Gary D. Schmit. This is a delicious super matte cover, the nice spot UV planet. The back is quite interesting as well. It's really shiny and then it has this like matte planet. This is quite a short book, it's 170 pages, and as you might be able to see, the spacing is quite wide. Now I'm not actually entirely sure how spacey this one is, but the summary says, when Jack meets his new foster brother, he already knows 3 things about him. Joseph almost killed a teacher, he was incarcerated at a place called Stone Mountain, he has a daughter, her name is Jupiter, and he has never seen her. By the way, this was sent to me for review by Anderson Press, and I think this will be a pretty good one to start off my 50 book challenge with. Then I got a final version of a book that I got a proof of a while ago that you still might remember, which was, I think, a Finnish feminist fantasy, and it is Muricy by Maria Turtschaninoff? I didn't realize Laura Dockrell did a quote for it. It says, dark, brave, and so gripping. This is a translated novel as well by Pushkin Press, and I do really trust their judgment. Also, it's got some blogger quotes on the back, which is pretty cool. The next one is one from Unsung Stories. They actually approached me about a different book by this author, a newer one, which actually hasn't come out yet and will show up in a book haul at some point. And then I remembered that I think both Jan Campbell and Rosanna read her previous book, and it sounded absolutely insane but very intriguing, so I asked if I could have a copy, and it is called The Beauty by Aliy Whiteley. It says, a dark and brutal vision of the future. This is not a tale for the faint of heart, which really appeals to me. It's about a world where there's no women and these weird mushroom type things start growing and sort of, I think, impersonating women? I'm not entirely sure because obviously I haven't read this, but it sounds like it's a little bit crazy and I'm into it. Then I recently went to a screening of Room, which is the film based on the book by Emma Donoghue. So the PR company that got me tickets to the film actually also sent me the book. I really enjoyed this film, and I know a little bit about this book, and you can tell from the film the way that this book is written, which obviously I haven't confirmed yet because I haven't read it. But this is about a young woman and her very young son who have been locked into this room by a guy who basically abducted the woman when she was younger, and her son has only ever been inside the room, so that's the only context he has, and his mom tells him that there is nothing outside of Room. Room is our little universe. Then she thinks of a plan to escape, and it's about everything that happens after that. Then next I have a proof copy that I requested, and it is called Hour of the Bees by Lindsay Eagar. It's quite hard to tell because it's white with a really light blue, but yeah, it says Hour of the Bees. It's got a little bee here. This is coming out next year, and it's about a 12-year-old girl called Carol who is spending her summer in the New Mexico desert, and she basically has to interact a lot with her granddad, who she's never met before. In the description of this book, they compared it to Holes, which I love. So there's some sort of storytelling about the granddad's past, and also a bit of a blur between what is fantasy and what is real. I haven't even shown you the spine yet. It's a really pretty spine as well. Can't really resist a good bee-related book. Then I have this lovely book from Penguin Press, or Particular Books. It is The Fox and the Star. Now you might have seen this around because it was the Waterstones Book of the Year by Coralie Bickford Smith, who is also actually a cover designer at Penguin. So she's written and illustrated this book, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm currently looking after the Penguin UK YouTube channel, which you should obviously subscribe to, but there is a really great video about this book there as well, which I will link in the description if you want to see a little bit about how it's made. There's also a quote on the back by Philip Pullman who says, brilliant, a delight. And then finally, I guess it counts as a book, it is the Harry Potter coloring book. Yes, I'm so excited. I'm not sure if I want to use this for watercolors or just for like pencils. I'm sure you've seen this all around. I'm sure lots of you got this for Christmas. It is so cool. I haven't done any adult coloring yet, but I'm very happy that this is going to be the first one. Okay, so those were the books I got in December. I'm sorry this isn't very Christmassy, but I didn't really get any books for Christmas. However, if you did get a very good book under the Christmas tree, please let me know. I'd love to hear what your presents are. I asked you guys on Twitter, send me pictures of your bookish gifts, and they all looked freaking amazing. Doei!